We're on the Millennium Bridge. We've got St Paul's ahead of us. We've got the Tate Modern behind us. This bridge has changed the way people use London. It's changed the way they walk about London. It's changed my perception of St Paul's Cathedral. And that, I think, is down to Southwark Council and the Millennium Bridge Committee that commissioned this. They realised that they had something really special on their hands, and I think did something extremely enlightened in commissioning a competition through the RIBA process, and the result is staggering. I think what was essential about this competition is that it was a competition of a design team of architect, engineer and artist. Anthony Caro, the artist, over Arup and Partners, the engineers, and Foster and Partners, the architects. And it was a great visionary project about, as Norman Foster described, forming a sort of beam of light across the Thames. And I think it's that sort of daring gesture that comes out of a competitive process. You've got to make a mark in a competition to win it. You might make your mark through doing something dramatic or just doing something absolutely beautiful that works for the client. As a past president of the RIBA, I found competitions extremely good at raising the profile of architecture in general, not just about the project itself, and bringing a greater public understanding of what we do as architects and as engineers as well. If you just go to the same architect as you've always gone to and you get a really good service, fine. But if you want something really different and you want to explore what talent there is around, then a competition process can be a really good one. It's not just star architects that win competitions. Some of today's star architects are the result of competitions. And I think competitions form a wonderful potential entry into the architectural world for young practices, young practitioners. That's what I've enjoyed about judging competitions, is seeing the surprises that sometimes come out of a competition. Sometimes it is the established architect and design team, and at other times it's some young Turk that has come up and produced something amazing and may go on to work with a more established firm in order to realise that project. But they have benefits all round. They have benefits from the competitor in creating a spirit. The spirit of a competition is absolutely tremendous within an office, and the pressure and the staying up all night and the amount of caffeine that is consumed. But to the client, the benefit is the product of that, in that they are likely to get some very special solutions, and they're likely to get a wide choice of solutions as well. And I think to the general public is that you get something extraordinary, this bridge being an example. My practice has entered competitions with different levels of success. I've also judged competitions, and several for both public and private competitions in this country and in Europe. And I think what I've found remarkable is that the RIBA competition process, I think, gets the right balance between the level of bureaucracy and the level of creativity, because it is the creative process that should be encouraged. And some of the European processes have been bogged down in bureaucracy. And I think getting that balance right is not just a matter of judgment, it's also a matter of experience, which the RIBA Competitions Office definitely have. I think the competition route is suitable for certain projects, but not all of them. But I would recommend anybody running a competition for something where they wanted to produce something which particularly special, but I would particularly recommend that they did it in a way that was professionally run, because otherwise competitions, I think, can produce a disaster. What I would recommend to any client considering competition is that they talk to the RIBA Competitions Office, who have far more experience than any other body in running competitions, and talk to them about what level of competition would be appropriate, because there are different forms of competition that fit different forms of project. To my mind, it's absolutely essential that competitions are professionally run by people who know what they're doing. I've seen competitions that are exploitative, that have resulted in desperate arguments between competitors and clients, some bad results as a result of competitions that have been done without the proper advice, and some absolutely triumphant ones that have been done with the proper advice. I think it's vitally important that the competition process is overlaid by the professionalism that comes out of the RIBA Competitions Office. And they are the people who have more experience in terms of running competitions than almost any other organisation. There are many examples in history of buildings and structures that have been the result of competitions. The Clifton Suspension Bridge was the result, now well over 100 years old, was the result of a competition that Brunel won. So competitions aren't new, and I think the history of them is that they've nearly always produced something special that is above the expectation of the client. And I think that is the vital issue.